All right, everybody, the Better Late Than Never Tuesday edition of Harmonic Pattern Podcast number 301. Let's get to it. Let's dig right into the big golden discussion for today. Really got to get into gold, talk about some big updates of what's happening as it really starts to line up 2,500 in its sights. Amazing. Almost hit 2,400 this morning. And we've been talking about the big moves, the big 2,800, 2,750 target for a while. It looks like that's going to happen faster than anyone thought. What's going on, chat? Great to see everybody today. Welcome back. Thanks for, again, Thursday was a great celebration of recognizing 300 shows. And everybody, I did want to give a shout out, let people know that the book that you won was the original Harmonic Trader. So one or two people said that they already got that book. Every Thursday this month, we'll be giving away that book. We'll give away a couple of those to get back to Thursday giveaway. And those will all be the Harmonic Trader. So it'll be wide open, and I'll sign those and send those. I want to get rid of them, frankly. Anyway, what's going on, chat? Eddie, Argo, Mitt, David, Alex, Carthago, Greg, Drew, Drake, Chargers, what's up? Evan, where are the bull patterns, he's asking. I think they're all over the place. Lots of bull patterns on 4-hour charts. For gold, though, we are rapidly approaching some big long-term upside targets already. And I've been saying that the gold market is, something's up. The gold market, this is unusual behavior for the gold market. It is one of the stronger bull trends we see, especially you go back for the century, go back from the early 2000s. That is a remarkable trend that almost looks like a tech stock, but probably even better because not too many retracements. Really interesting things, that the fact that we've been here for a while and now basically hovering around 2000, then you break out, go to the 1618. 1618 is like 2420. So that's probably going to happen by June, I would think. Easily crack 2,400 in the next few weeks. Hold on 1 second. Let me check. 1 second, folks. 1 second. I got to check something. All right. Better. I think that's a little better. Anyway. Also, the other interesting aspect of the gold move, the miners have not really done much. And you could look at the likes of Barrick, GOLD, here, breaking out longer term, but in terms of the, hold on 1 second. Let's go. There you go. Just since the beginning of March, started to accelerate off of a rather long-term base. Also, take a look. Barrick had a bunch of patterns. This is something we're seeing in a lot of commodity stocks that have big bearish patterns. They've been going sideways for the better part of the year and now breaking out in a big way. One other one. Go to these junior nugget miners. JNUG, great little instrument to be tracking and trading. And we looked at this a couple weeks ago with a beautiful type 2. Completed the crab around 23.24. And then from, amazingly, 6 weeks ago, you go from 24 to 40. Targeting, I think, as high as 43.20 on this move. That's actually target 2 of this initial pattern. 1 second. There's target 2. So gold's Really, I think surprising everyone, although all the old gold bugs would always say, told you so, no doubt. But if you go to the stocks, go to the producers, the miners, there is an opportunity here where we haven't even seen that spread out in terms of actually the miners starting to do a major turnaround and make big money to where these long-term downtrends can finally be washed out. JNUG is one of them. There's several that are really interesting longer term, weekly charts, really positive daily action. And then let's look at the gold futures itself, spot price. Okay, the monthly chart on the futures price is maybe one of the most harmonic of all markets. It loves the primary ratios, the 618 and 1618. And even, let's go to the last major correction. You go from 2010 to 14. All of these major 1618s are in the same area. 2,500 for that one. Yeah. So it would make a lot of sense that with gold doing what it's doing, the catch-up trade is to look for these miners to finally turn around. The other one that I haven't talked about in a long time is silver. And here's SLV. This one, look at amazing long-term monthly bat pattern that put a floor at around 13 bucks. And the only thing that would have been even probably the most ideal of the whole situation is if we would have somehow retested 13 and then that would have completed the monthly type 2 from an ideal harmonic pattern standpoint, we would say why not go bonkers and go to 34 bucks, which is simply a long-term 61.8% retracement. It's target 2 off the long-term pattern. But I do think it's still in a spot where we could get going here. It's finally. These have been dead markets. Silver's been just literally a nothing market for the last 10 years. One stock that I looked at a long time ago, I think it was a 3 ideas for my folks, is Pan American Silver that's a monthly. Look at that, right off the 886. But a couple of bullish patterns. There you go. Coming up. There you go. Look at the bat pattern of type 2. Back in early January, mid-January, bottomed at the hop level. Now really taking off. Wouldn't chase that, but I think this is kind of the first move for what could be a new uptrend. Literally the end of this multi-year correction. There you go. All the way down. Big recovery range possible here. Big recovery range. So silver, gold, what are they saying? They are doing remarkably unique and uncharacteristic moves. If you compare both of these markets the last 5 years, 10 years, they look like they're about to do another surge recovery. I mean, this is Pan American, but looks like we're coming back to life here. Or even go back to 2019, we did that kind of a move. Whole bunch of stuff lined up quite nicely. That's about the only problem with gold silver markets. They do tend to do ideal moves. If you have the patience to simply wait for the retracements, MW formations, 886s, they give them to you, give you ideal structures. The whole thing is that the delayed realization, the turnaround off the pattern usually takes a while, and you're not going to get huge moves, but well defined. Do a 382, 618 recovery range. Really interesting. We'll look at that. Hey, what's up, Matt? Matt is asking about BTC Gold. I think that's a great one. We'll look at that shortly. But a lot of these are in a spot longer term. With gold and silver, undeniably, they're in a new paradigm for this decade, a new phase. What was the other? The final one was AU. Hold on. No, let me come back to that. Go back to that. So why? What's going on here? Silver wants to do something interesting, unique, first time breakout. Here's silver futures. Okay, had a bunch of patterns looking left off the daily chart or weekly chart, that is, challenging multi-year highs. Certainly at the 886. But are we going to do something that is, bigger in terms of the overall recovery? Because there's your long-term chart, weekly on silver. It's got quite a history. I mean, it really has been a nothing market for probably most of everyone that's in here. Probably has maybe never even looked at a silver chart. But we're at that point where we could be doing things, as they say. One moment, folks. Hold on 1 second. What's up, everybody? Thanks. Bitcoin dropping hard, huh? Well, look, let's go over there. Take a look. Not surprised on any of that. I mean, things are. We should be expecting, I think, a bit more volatility than everybody's been anticipating in general. I just got back. I had something, unexpected call. Anyway, but got to draw our attention to these larger phenomenon going on. Silver, something we rarely look at. Okay, but it's there, and look at this. There's a monthly chart, silver futures. It's doing really what I really think is like a flex move, not to come down and give us the ideal type 2. I mean, type 1 there. This is the bat pattern for the century, for the 21st century. Retraces the range, does the reaction. It retested the ABCD component of the structure, but not the 886. Now you're back at target 1, and only resistance is it's retesting that general area around 28, under 30. Some static resistance. The target 1 is 26, and it really wants to take that out now. Bigger possibilities 35. So I'm watching this closely because of what gold's doing in particular. If we're gonna just track this and use M and W framework for possible targets or even just general possibilities, this has got bat written all over it. I'm not saying this year, not even maybe next year, but the next 3-4 years to follow this whole monthly symmetrical ideal W structure back up to around $44 on silver futures. That would be something. Really nice. These are harmonic markets. Gold and silver, gold especially, remarkable, and that's why I'm starting with these today. Thanks for the little hiccup there just 2 minutes ago. We'll go into palladium in a minute. Okay, I want to draw everybody's attention to this. Get over to harmonictrader.com. Free harmonic pattern 2-week trial. Just send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. For new folks, listen, maybe a couple questions. So I don't think I'm mentioning it enough during the podcast, but go to harmonictrader.com and become a basic member. All of the books, all the resources to learn the foundation are available there free as a basic member. Okay, and I usually tell everybody, take the month. So take the month, get the free software, try all the programs, and then, go ahead with it, move forward. So that's that. If you have any questions, reach out to me or get on our Discord. Let me know. Get back to one other metal market, XAU. Philadelphia Gold and Silver Exchange, where I really started. XAU, amazing at 138. Looks like now starting to really begin a new wave. We get above 142, 144, and can at least go up 160, 170 range. It is a shark that precedes this on the monthly. So whatever happened back in 2016, 2018, I mean, we know what happened. And then leading up to this most recent retest, it established not one or two, but multiple higher lows on a monthly chart, where just reinforces the trend, looking for an eventual 886 retest, and that all-time highs going back essentially to the aftermath of the financial crisis. And you think about what's happened since the financial crisis with the amount of money that's been printed, put in circulation since then, because everyone freaked out about the financial crisis that they were just overinflating. But that dollar sum compared to what's happening now is minuscule. So if this is the breakout, for real breakout, also just look at static downtrend. There you go. But this is pretty much the first time in a few years where you could even look at this market. I would say the last time this kind of opportunity set up was about 2019. You broke out of that multi-year downtrend. Same thing here. Couple more. I want to just mention palladium really quick. Related to platinum, mined together. Palladium has a whole bunch of industrial uses. I think it's PL. Palladium futures traded on the NYMEX. Good old NYMEX. There you go. Monthly chart on palladium. Where's the weekly? There you go. So anyone see a pattern there? You guys, anybody see anything here that might suggest there might be an opportunity? Massive bat pattern at the 886, even with that big blow off top. Look for a massive 886 stabilization. We need it. There's no confirmation, but we need a higher low. We need at least price action to turn around. We do have a 3-bar breakout that happened back in March on the weekly chart. There you go. So there's an opportunity yet to develop, but it agrees with everything else that we're seeing. Really interesting. These charts, the metals charts and harmonic patterns in metals, it just happen a lot. They're not going to move the multi gains, the 3-5x potential, but 20, 30, 50% moves on properly set up swings. Yeah, and then we're there. At least on the daily, Palladium, trying to put in some lows down there, but I would um, still be in the monitoring phase because this downtrend needs to break out a little bit. You need to get a little bit further outside of that downtrend line. But it's all about that weekly pattern. Really nice. Carthago's saying he bought some physical platinum around 890, and he said it should have been Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, we can do that all day long. I think everyone's got to have a little physical, no matter what. Just even in terms of mindset, if you have like 2%, 5% in physical, with gold doing what it's doing as well now, um, the other thought that I do want to stress is that, look, gold isn't a market that retraces historic gains, especially in today's modern financial world. Um, Probably most people do know that the United States used to be on a gold standard. Take your dollar in, get a dollar of gold back. But that was taken out in 74. And ever since then, we've had a couple of iterations where, uh, that debt financing, that easy money uh, printer has kind of been kicked up a couple notches. COVID, 2008 financial crisis, 2000 Y2K thing, and the 87 crash even. But what gold's doing now is a direct response of debasement. And so these are historic gains kind of climbing the ladder where you're not coming back down. That you will correct along the way, but you're not giving this up on a long-term level. And that is one of the big appeals, that why people throw their money and actually hold it. I've consulted for people, families that have physical gold as one of their principal assets of what they invest in, and literally will say, "Hey, I will sell this amount of gold. Please move it to this other person's vault." I mean, that stuff goes on every day between banks, between high net worth individuals. But people are holding gold for this very reason, that you're in a multi-decade uptrend, and that's not ever going to be given up. Not with the financial policies going on in the modern era, or what's planned for the future. That's a well intact 3-4 decade uptrend. There you go. Nice chart. There's your gold futures going. Gold futures going back to 1970. How about that chart? Now, I didn't go all the way back. I don't know why I didn't look at a monthly all the way back here. I was just kind of perusing some charts yesterday for today. And look at what we have. Software picked up a perfect butterfly right at the low at 263. Amazing. That was like right around the time I launched Harmonic Analyzer, which was the first one. Type 1 that never looked back. Remarkable. But since then, what have we had? Anything more than a 382? Don't know. Hold on, I gotta change. Let me change that. Something's not right on that. Better. Okay. Beautiful chart. And that continues. We are definitely going to scrape top end of a historic channel resistance, but still, that's more like 2430, 2500. It very well just ends up like this for now. Go to the 1618. There. Could even be like a 1902. down to the 382, like that, and then go again within that channel. But let's look for the miners to kind of follow that larger lead. Yeah, really nice. Listen, I do want to jump to Bitcoin in a minute. It's having a little issues today, I guess. But before I do, this is all related to the dollar. So here's dollar index, another monthly chart. I'm looking at this crab pattern. I wanted to bring this up. We haven't talked about the dollar either in a while. Dollar index, okay, can't really clear the 110, 112 range because of this big monthly structure, that resistance. We are going sideways, and we did on a long-term basis recently form a bullish reading against a bearish pattern like we did back in 2021. And you go back here, April 18. That makes this whole range really critical for what we're looking for going forward. And I mean into next year, into the end of the decade. You know, dollar is going to have to resolve that test very soon if we're going to post some, you know, do the whole regression channel. It's like that. Really interesting dynamic going on here. The pattern versus the uptrend, some bullish readings. So, you know, that could hold, and it could hold, and then you go to the daily time frame. We're getting squeezed, and we have this deep crab on the daily. Notice that there's been a few patterns here recently, and they're green, they're bullish. So this makes this current test coming up, 103, 104 on the index, pivotal. Really pivotal. Okay? Haven't looked at this stuff too often, but I want everyone to know that it's probably in about 30 more days, it's going to tip its hand. By the end of June, the end of the quarter, I think we'll have a really good idea of what dollar index is going to, which way it's going to go. Finally, and this all leads into Bitcoin and what we can expect for Bitcoin as well. But if we, before that, if you go to here, 2-year, 10-year bonds, again, another one we haven't looked at for a while. Back to back to back patterns. Been really providing kind of a good insight to how far this whole move's going to go. Hearing a lot of narrative recently, last week or two, about inflation coming back, or at least not really subsiding the way they thought. Maybe they're not going to cut. What's the framework saying? Because where are we against this bat pattern, which is the big resistance at around 5% on the 2-year? What'd that do? It capped that long-term rally, gave us a reaction, which was when those rates rolled over, the 2-year, and it was right off of a pattern, right down to target for, 5% down to 4.2. That sparked that whole rally. But interestingly, since January, and we've continued the rally, rates have backed up. And we are almost perfectly retesting that bat pattern, which is 4.9. And we also have, I got to blow this up. Software is kicking out a shark. Almost complete at 486. So we could see rates tick up a little bit higher. The big test is 490, 491. And we'll know. It is still a type 1. That's the other thing I wanted to say. It's sometimes it gets confusing. You got pattern to pattern to pattern. All right, where should we be focusing on? Try to simplify it like this: is the fact that you've got the pattern itself is a signal. I mean, it's saying, hey, pay attention. This is just not it's not just random price action behavior. But there's the bat. Sometimes easier just to extend it out. That's the big resistance. This bullish pattern, okay, after the reaction that we get a bullish pattern. Happens a lot. It's usually positive because when it goes right between target one, target two, that pattern, the back-to-back pattern dynamics, try to launch it to where that pattern impacts price action as much as this pattern. Okay, yes, it can be confusing. Took a long time to figure this stuff out, seriously. But once you understand the expectation, you've got to go from reaction to reversal. All right, it's pretty clear. 491, top side resistance, maybe 486. That's a big 2 test coming. With 420, yes, I said it, but 420, 4.2% as your possible support. So what are they thinking? They're thinking that inflation is going to subside and you're going to go back down and continue the rollover that started last year. Is that really the scenario? That's what they want to happen. What do the patterns say? We're up here where 486 to 491 that's your absolute make or break, with the hope that you go back and retest and finally get under 4% on the 2-year. That would have to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. Not with if oil is going to go to 107 and inflation's not really subsiding the way they thought it would. Then, gold is kind of screaming at us. That's the issue. And it's not stopping. I don't think till we get to that 2430 level. A lot happening. Look, I'm not too concerned. I'm not changing what I'm saying. I'm still saying look for 1618 extensions. But other things are developing. And we need to call it out now and just get it in front of them. Let's monitor what happens in gold. Because what if gold explodes? What if gold goes and does the big move to 2,800 or 3,000 or does something bizarre? Let's be aware of it. Silver is in the perfect position, and so is platinum, to do a bigger recovery turnaround. And then you look at what's set up here. All right, we're going to get a major resolution because look, here's the big issue. 2-year long-term chart. Let's go to monthly. Monthly is getting squeezed. There you go. Long-term downtrend was broken 2 years ago. And that's going back. That's not even a great chart. I mean, that's only going back like 30 years, 40 years. But it did break out. And there's a bunch of readings where, just trying to go off of what the software is telling me, clear resistance at 5, but a lot of strong support like this at the 4% level. And then that last test recently, this isn't rolling over. I need to keep a closer eye on this, okay? Closer eye, because we know this is your make or break. You clear these highs and you do some kind of move above 515, 520. Okay, we're going to have to take a check. We're going to have to really take a hard look at some things, because above 5% on, or 520 on the 2-year that's a different scenario. That's a totally different economic environment. Be aware of that. Stuff's up. It's one way where when you're looking at charts and you're saying, well, I thought inflation was rolling over. I thought interest rates were going to come down. Go to the 10-year again. There's the 10-year. So 10-year yield, there's the weekly, and the weekly has some recent oversold confirmation signals that generated the end of January. And what has happened since then? We're still up. We're actually continuing. Now, not the end of the world, but not rolling over. Interest rates aren't going down. They're going up. What's the likely spot here? If this is a true bullish continuation signal, we're looking at any chart. But again, this is the way we're breaking it down. Tell me about the signals. Tell me what this is. That's a high level HSI continuation on the 10-year at 4%. Unless that was to roll over, and again, even if it did roll over and broke down, which is what you want to see for the larger market, Bitcoin, everything to continue, plenty of time. For now, that is stair-stepping higher to where maybe it goes to 490. Week or the monthly is even more interesting. This is something where the 10-year yield has completed a type 2 deep crab on the monthly, which is absolutely remarkable when I think about it. When I think about how harmonic patterns measure cycles, the way the MW structures, and then the type 1, and then the type 2 with confirmation. That's a monthly. Hop level, okay, back in 2019 was saying that 0.93 on the 10-year yield, even though it went to fractional 0.50%, 0.5%, half a percent, 0.93 was an insane opportunity. And then look what the monthly's saying now, at that confirmation level. There's the 2, there's first confirmation, second confirmation, but you could have waited for the breakout because it's a rate chart. But know that this is a significant reversal. Even that first thrust, incredible. And obvious retest targets here. When you're deep down back, this is back-to-back patterns working in your favor again, where, hey, I'm down here, I broke out of the downtrend. Oh, obviously I'll go at least retest the pattern. Well, now look where you are. You're well above that and continuing to ride. The deep crab target at 392, that's been taken out. This is the bigger thing from a pattern perspective. Talk about patterns looking left on the 10-year. Okay. If we take out that pattern resistance, and there is absolutely something to it where off of a pattern, when I say patterns looking left, there's not only for the minimum target 1, target 2, but larger possibilities can be measured off of the pattern itself. Go from high to low. Where's 113? 6%. Where's 1618? Just to get an idea. 8.25, 820. That's what's at stake. And I did want to just say this, like a lot of people have asked a great trade management question where they say, well, what happens beyond target 2? Let's say you're in a trade and it does what it is supposed to do. Hits the retest and goes to target 2 and just keeps going. Like if it's crypto, well, you still use the same pattern, but we'll throw on the additional targets, the 886, because target 2 is the 618. That's a 618 level off the pattern. But takes that out. Tell me about the 886. I don't really even care about the static high. I'm more interested in the 886 because a lot of that's encompassed when it hits. You take out the 886 firmly and continue, then all right, give me a 113. That's how close this thing is. So something's up. Let's get to Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? Getting crushed today? BTC. Everyone's starting to talk about. No, it's not. Come on, guys. $2,000 is not crushed for Bitcoin. Are we pausing? Yeah. I mean, look, it's a day. It's a Monday for Bitcoin. Monday Bitcoin. But I'm watching this rate thing, and I'm watching gold. I've been saying this really since last year because there were a lot of bullish patterns. Things have changed. I don't know. The attitude's different, and people are kind of like just accepting this financial. I don't know. It's a financial fact that this is how it's going to go. It's not even a problem anymore. It's just like it's just a statement of fact that this dollar debasement, the way that the deficit spending is going to continue, that gold and other dollar hedges, they should be doing this. Bitcoin versus a dollar, yeah. Digital gold, there you go. But at what price? So we're up here right now on Bitcoin, just hovering around the all-time high. We're trying to throw in an HSI, a weekly overbought signal. It looks like this. Okay, on HSI, it's triggered, you paused. We've talked about the fact that Bitcoin, you want to have a clue of where Bitcoin's going. Monitor relative strength, amplified RSI. If what I think should happen on this pause is Bitcoin holds 61,000, 60,000 has to hold, and HSI on your weekly or even monthly, that's amplified RSI, stays in the overbought. So if we're bouncing around here by $10,000 over the next few weeks, and a lot of people are citing the fact that there's been some kind of correction post-halving. We do know that there's this 4-hour bullish pattern at 61.5, and I'm okay with it. I think actually the strongest move continues to be to just stay on that trend line. Slowly come up, bang 72, 73,000 a few times. Make them pay, which they will, and then eventually we'll do it and we'll bust out. We're not going to get, with the halving next week, literally end of next week. Okay, the 102.5, 1618 is going to be the big challenge to take out first, but that will be for the summer into the fall. For now, look, it's to 72. Every time they get to 72, they're going to knock on it. So that's what's with BTC. Nothing's really changed, except I want to watch, look, this wedge on the daily. That's the other thing I see a lot of, is people drawing like these tight wedges saying, all right, it's breaking out. It's bullish wedge, bullish pennant. I've seen some people even say, no, that's a bearish flag or bearish pennant. No, I mean, you ride that up with the trend. It's getting squeezed. We're getting really close to where a resolution in these trend decisions, you're breaking out. This longer term uptrend continues to push it higher. Okay, and we know the targets. That's all. Before the big kind of set the whole thing free moment. Couple more in the Bitcoin realm. So GBTC is a really interesting side vehicle to analyze aside from Bitcoin. There was the big monthly chart. Remember this was really what clued us in on GBTC and the others. The massive Gartley. You just textbook. We'll be talking about this. I think crypto people will be talking about this for years. Okay, couldn't ask for a more perfect setup 2023 low, bottom low with confirmation right around $8-10. Sailed straight through target 1, straight through target 2. And remember I was saying earlier, what happens when you get above target 2 and you have no confirmation? Here's target 2. You know, look at that. Target 2 right on through. No confirmation. Any dot? No. Now we're against the all-time high. Above it, it's 60, 58, and you're just kind of hovering there. You actually hit the 113. Little pause, no problem. I'm more interested in with that kind of strength blowing it through. I'm still looking at a 1618. I'm looking at a 1618 target because this is so perfect. That's something as well. I think people overlook the power of the pattern. If you have something looking left like that, that responded so well, okay, blowing through all traditional minimum targets, 382, 618, 886, and just poised like this, 1618 is just a minimum objective. You're assuming this is doing a minimum price discovery expansion, and doesn't matter that that's 8 or 10 or 15. You're here at 60 looking for the next move, okay, up to 1618, where that target's $90. So do keep an eye on GBTC. It's monthly progress. And then software is kicking out. Look, there, here we go again. HSI within this really steady. I mean, that's a beautiful uptrend. There you go. HSI continuation. Yellow dot was last week. This is getting squeezed, but we've had how many bullish instances? This is GBTC. Let's count them. And this is, I'm sharing this with everyone because these are the type of signals that are going to clue you in on optimal entries for this bullish continuation. Amazing that how just in the last few days of some pullbacks, the degree of uncertainty has creeped in to the public generally. But I'm sizing up stuff like that in the same way I did here. You know, there at $18, all the way back here at 13. Go back to those old streams. This is another situation, maybe as low as 57, 58, but it's getting squeezed, ready to go. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Yes, sir. What's up, Mitch Ray? Happy post-eclipse to you. How are you? What's going on? You had a cool, did you see that from the penthouse? It was pretty rad. I thought it was, we were like, what would you say, like 40% down here? Anyone get a totality eclipse yesterday? Really awesome. You know, that stuff's very cool. I should also dedicate like a whole, one of these times I'll go take a look at the entire space technology rocket companies, because you know it's interesting. Yesterday, the solar eclipse got everyone talking about space, and you know, and then all right, are we going to go to the moon, and when are we going to do that? When is Elon going to put some rockets on the moon, kind of a thing? And yeah, that stuff's going to start really getting into the general discourse in the next year or two, I think. Awesome. Nice. I'll definitely catch up with you soon, Mitch. But let's get to a couple others. No worries on what's happening today with BTC. Look for the opportunities. Look for the pullbacks. Well, we're down 32. Oh, 3,200 now. Okay, good. And we were down. What did that just drop 1,000? Let me pull up a 5. Yeah. We had a day like this last week. Look, there's the 5-minute chart right now. 5-minute at 68,323. Where's the hourly minimum? the hourly chart just to get some targets off of this current little pullback here. Yeah, maybe 66, 67, guys. I'm not. It's just not really sweating it. Maybe it's because it's happening in a couple hours during the mainstream day. But we'd be looking for pullbacks as opportunities. Ethereum, okay, knocked on the door again, but we mentioned this last week. This big bat pattern around 3,300. It got to 3,200. But not much has changed there. I mean, not much has really changed. There's the 4 hour. Yeah, same bat pattern getting generated. And I would be looking for Ethereum to at least come back. And as we said last week, a lot of these in a conservative manner are setting up for, at least in the short term, retest the prior highs. That's actually probably better at a Gartley with the 786 because it's a 618 B point, something like that, 38, 60. And then some of the high flyers. Where's Fetch? Fetch AI. Here's Fetch. Okay, really nice. We know the story here. It's a high level bat pattern. So I'm watching this Fetch on a 4 hour. And I do recommend that, track these on the 4 hour, especially those that have already mooned, because if you want to see real continuation harmonic patterns, it's going to be like this. So Fetch did a perfect type 1, needs the type 2 on the 4 hour, maybe back at 250 with confirmation, 251. Where's HSI? Yeah, HSI is now oversold. On that last test, it wasn't oversold, in a better spot. So eye these up, get these lined up, and that's how I would look at a lot of them. One or two more that have been starting to work out. Here's Phantom, and I brought that up last week. Use this not only for the coin itself, but where's that 4 hour pattern? I had the bat pattern on this. It was daily oversold in 4 hours. There's the daily dot oversold in the 4 hour pattern. Sorry. Well, that's one. That was one of them. But again, I'm having a problem with that pattern. Here's Gala. Okay, another T coin. Patterns looking left. Retest at the 4 hour. There's type 1. Can we get a type 2 and then go? Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, math. I saw that. T-coin. That had a few things, I think, back down there. Math was, yeah, there's math. But that's been doing stuff like that. It's not the first time. There you go. Math. No idea. But today has its day. Why not back down tomorrow? Why not back down? I think this one did have a pattern. I don't know. Get ready. I mean, are we not getting ready for this kind of action anyway? We'd want to see patterns like that. One big pattern that I think is really kind of framing out the potential for, I don't know, a bigger move is what's going on in Bitcoin Cash. So we have a bearish pattern right now. Sorry, it's a 4 hour. There you go. And I'm really watching this because this did a perfect type 1. Now it's a 2. And I'm hoping we can get this thing to come back down for a target 2 to let this play out. There's one, bang, perfect. And then come back down for target 2. And then set it up where we could launch because of this. Sorry, weekly. All right, this is a beautiful weekly trend. No doubt right now, 700, 720 on Bitcoin Cash. I have said that that should be a really short-term pause point, but the bigger objective, recovery objective, where Bitcoin Cash is easily, well above its 382 range, or right at 382, and that definitely gives us indication where let it resolve that 382 range. That would be my target. A swing 886 for Bitcoin Cash for this cycle. What's better? There's Binance. It's a little bit better. Okay, really nice chart. I've been in front of that for a little while. Caught that secondary move. This had a crazy shark right at the low. Remember that? Amazing. Litecoin is probably the other one that's similar. I really think they'll have their day. They kind of remind me of gold. All the gold bugs that forever were like, yeah, Bitcoin, or sorry, gold's gonna be a hedge. It's 5,000 an ounce. People talk about Bitcoin the same way. They talk about Bitcoin Cash in that way, and they talk about Litecoin. And this has a nice look. Here's the weekly. And I highlighted this previously, where really identical symmetry with 886 swings possible. Litecoin at the right side here, putting in a couple of lows. I think 100, 105 will take time to really take out the entire range and start to accelerate. So we're down, we're back under 100. I think anything under 100 and under 100 on Litecoin, let it come down, but look to be buying this on what? 4-hour patterns, even daily oversold. Daily oversolds. There was a last pattern at 73. We'll get another one. I don't think this will drop much more than 90. Target one. But a lot of these are setting up and they're forming back-to-back patterns where let them do their thing. Look at these targets. Look at, 90 as the next floor, next step in the process. What's up, David? Yep. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Hi-Fi. Never heard of it. What is Hi-Fi? Let me see here. Okay, it's on Binance. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can do anything there for you. Nice looking chart, but maybe if the 4-hour can pull in. It's a nice trend. I mean, yeah, we need 4-hour pullbacks. At this point, all of your favorite crypto, even the AI stuff, they have to give you pullbacks. One or two of those that I want to just show you that have been screamers. Typical crypto, but AIOZ, it's 10x, okay? This has got a big pattern up here on the 4-hour. It was over $1 at the end of March, and then has done a perfect 1-2. Is now at 80 cents, okay? That's the type of setup I would be looking at, but that's more from a trade perspective. Looking at that pullback, that's it. Realizing that, hey, if that's not going to continue here, then a larger pullback on a T coin like this is about all I can hope for. So we got to wait, be patient, line up those 4-hour patterns like I've said, and just get ready. I'm not sweating today's pullback. I'm not even, I didn't even talk about the QQQ or SPY today, and I'm not going to. They will set up right now. They're pausing. We know the big levels, but I'm not too concerned. I'm thinking If we get a nice pullback in Bitcoin, the markets, remember tax day, April 15th, really common for people to be pulling out money the week before. That's the excuse. So let's just be patient on it. I'll be lining stuff up, guys. We'll come on back on Thursday. I think we'll be in a better position to talk about a lot more other opportunities than that. Okay? Great session today. Great to see everybody. We'll back do another giveaway Thursday, 12 Eastern. Until then, get over to me at the Discord or join us as a basic member over at harmonictrader.com. Okay, everybody.